I mean, it's really important to me that when we're talking about products, if I talk about a product that I use, that you understand the reasons that I use certain products over other ones, and a lot of times it has to do with whether or not I feel like I can hold on to it, or I can easily apply it. And I want you guys to be able to easily apply things too. So I don't want anybody to be in a situation where I've said to them, this is a great product, try it, and you go, oh, that was so hard to use, I hated it. And in fact, I already had that happen, and I felt so bad that applicator that for me, it was the one I did a YouTube video on. I reviewed it to see if it would work, and the one that I bought, the handle came off really easily. But another lady bought it, and her handle didn't come off, and I felt really crappy about that, because again, if I tell you something that I think is great, and then it doesn't work for you, then geez, oh man, that's lousy. I shouldn't, it shouldn't happen that way. I felt bad about that, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't happen again. Let's quickly see if I can lay down this, and we'll do some of the orange ones. See how the blending solution just makes everything just so easy. It just makes things go down so well. I really like using these blender tools, blender pens. Okay, so let's finish up. Woo, had to take a little break there. We'll finish up. Look how nice these blender pens work. I wanted to tell you too that yesterday I had all these blender pens and they were running dry. So I got this recipe off the internet that was 4 teaspoons of distilled water and 2 teaspoons of, oh crap, I'm gonna have to put it on the information down below. I think it was 2 teaspoons of glycerin and a quarter of a teaspoon of rubbing alcohol, I think. I want to make sure I give you that information correctly, so it will be in the information below. But what I did then is I took the nibs out of all of my different blender pens that were running out, and I pulled the nibs out of both ends. Then after I pulled the nibs out of both ends, what I did was I set them all in a flat container that you could fit, the pen would lay in it flat, and I laid the pens in there overnight. And this morning it didn't seem like nothing really had happened as much as I wanted it to. So I had some syringes that I'd had from some medications I'd taken a while ago for my arthritis, and I used the syringes and I filled them with the mixture, and then I injected it into this part where the nib was missing. I squirted it down in there, and when the solution came out this end, then I knew that it was okay. So then I would go on to the next one, and then once all of them were full, then I put the nibs back on. And I think they blend just like the regular blending solution. And I was buying blender pens often because, as you know, I like to use my watercolor pencils often. So you can really go through a lot of solution when you do that. And I do have a blender pen that comes with blending solution, which is great. It's called Dove. And those come with, not only do they come with extra blending solution, but they also come with extra nibs. So it's a really nice, high quality line. But I like the double tip on these Stampin' Up ones, and I just like the Stampin' Up ones. They just seem to work better for me. I was really surprised because I saw a lady make that solution on YouTube, and when she used it and compared it to regular blending solution, hers didn't seem to blend out as well. And I thought my expectations were very low going into this morning because I didn't. Oops, wrong color. Oh boy. I didn't expect that mine would be any better than hers, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm going to have to put a little orange in that because that one I thought I scribbled it out, but must not have. Anyway, I really like that blending solution, and I would not go out and buy new blender pens, which is what I'd been doing before, is every time I'd run out. So I had a pretty big stash of old blender pens. And they're not cheap. I think you get like 3 of them for, I don't know, $10 or something. I mean, it's not overly expensive, but it's not a bargain by any means. I see I got a lot of yellow on my hand, and then I transferred it onto the card, so that's lovely. Let's see what we can do to fix that. I think I'm going to stamp a few little butterflies that I have. I really think butterflies are such an easy, neat go-to thing to have on cards, and they're just, I don't know, I just think they're pretty, easy to work with, easy to stamp. I just like them. I just think butterflies are nifty. Butterflies are free. That was a show in the 60s and 70s. Goldie Hawn, I think, won an Academy Award for that. Wow, that was a little bit of tidbit of information that I didn't even know I had in there. Sometimes I scare even myself with my information I have. I have, well, Rich and I, every year, go to St. Martin for Valentine's Day. It's an island in the Caribbean that is half French and half Dutch. And the reason I'm telling this story is because they have a butterfly farm there. And every year we go to the butterfly farm because Rich is, I don't know if I probably have said this, but Rich is a pretty keen photographer, and he takes really lovely photos of butterflies especially. And so every year we come back with, I don't know, 50 more photos of butterflies. So we have a lot of photos of butterflies, and I really like them. Jeez, this is a mess over here. What am I going to do with this mess? Oh, I have to really think this through. How am I going to fix this stuff? Oh my goodness. Anyway, we really do love butterflies, and like I said, I not only like them in crafting, but I just like them in real life. I think they're just really pretty and really dainty, and they have such a short lifespan too. And that's sad because they're only, I think they're maybe 14 days is the longest any butterfly lives for. So it's kind of short, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I kind of have trouble with that color too. Once I have a mess with a card, like this one is starting to have issues, once I have problems where things start to spill over, then I start to panic and don't know how to fix my issue. Like, I just don't know what I'm going to do with this because I have spots where the color is bled. So now I'm going to panic about that for a little while until I come up with a plan. Oops, there's one more spot. Ooh, glue going overboard. Get up there, glue. There is a butterfly called a blue morph that the back of the butterfly is just a plain ugly brown color. Then when it opens its wingspan, it's got this magnificent, beautiful blue color in the inside. It's just beautiful as anything, but most of the time you don't see it because it wants to protect that color, and so it doesn't spread its wings that much. But the first time you see it, it just takes your breath away because it's so pretty. It's just so vibrantly blue. So we have a little bit of purple here, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I think we're just going to go with it. And I do think I might want to run a little bit of ink around the outside of this one. What would I do? Maybe a little purple. So, let's see. I'm going to use one of these mementos. I have just about every kind of ink you can think of, because that's another thing I have to, once I get my hands on, I have to collect that too. So I have tons of different kinds of inks that I like to play with. And I like these little teardrop shapes because they're fun. And hopefully this isn't going to be too dark. Nope, it's a nice purple. And then maybe it'll make it so that that little faux pas I got there in the bottom looks like it's supposed to be there. There's always a way around my big boo-boos. As I said at the beginning, I want to make sure I remind you guys about this. This distressing tool, again, is free this month at Tupelo, Tupelo Designs. All you have to do is buy anything, and their shipping is free. So I'm not sure what their least expensive thing is, but I'm just saying, when you're looking for a distressing tool, you can't get much cheaper than that. I mean, you can make your own, but I don't know if you can make anything that's really free. So I would just recommend, if you have the opportunity, that you try one of these out. I really think that you'll like it, and if you do, email me and let me know what you think of it. Especially the people that struggle with being able to hold on to things. I really want you to try them, because I really do think it'll make such a difference for you in the way that you're able to distress things, because it's so tricky to distress and do it accurately when you can't really hold things the way you want to. There it is. What is this? Number 5, I think? Number 5. And there's that one. Very last one. This one had problems right from the get-go. I don't know what. I couldn't get my my leaf to be where it needed to be. I couldn't get my I had issues, like I said, right from the very beginning on it. So I just need to grab some greens out of my selections of greens. And I normally, when I do leaves, I normally do a couple of greens, and then I usually end with a light beigey color, and I think it makes them look more natural, and I like them to be a little bit more this is going to sound weird. I like them to look a little bit more dead than alive. Not really dead. I can't explain it better than that. But I like them when they have just a look like, well, we'll do leaf first. I like them when they have the look of a leaf that is not a new sprouted leaf. And I use kind of a, we'll call that kind of evergreeny green, and then the brown I just put in the center, and then clean that off, and then when I rub it around with my blender pen, I think you can see how that brown just changes that green just enough. Do you see that? How it makes it look like it's not a brand new leaf. I actually like to watch people watercolor pencil. I don't know why. I think it's soothing to watch people do this. You're probably going, geez, Sandy, finish the stupid thing for gosh sakes. But like I said, it never bothers me to watch people do this, and I watch Lindsay, the frugal crafter, do it all the time, because to me, again, I just think it's very relaxing, and I think that it's, I don't know, entertaining at the same time. But she is so knowledgeable about her art, and I love that too. I love people that understand their craft, and she definitely knows her stuff. When she says stuff like, I got my first paint set when I was 4 or something. I don't know what she says, or her first paint brushes when she was 4. That tells you something about how long she's really been doing things like this. It's amazing. I'm just scribbling off my colors here. I think she's remarkably talented, and in so many ways. I think the thing that I like about her is that she's not just she doesn't just have one facet to her crafting. She does everything. And what I find other crafters, it seems like so many of them, they'll make cards and that'll be it. So they can make a card, but that's the extent of their skills. And I really like it when I can learn different things and different techniques from people. And so I like to watch somebody like Lindsay, because she does have so many different techniques and so many different things that she makes. I love watching anything she does when she makes jewelry. She makes beautiful jewelry. And then she also makes her artwork is really nice too. She just does it all. I mean, artwork like in paintings. She does. I love to watch her when she does these painting tutorials where she sets up a palette of paint colors. I just think that's fun to watch when somebody that is a true artist is kind of getting their game plan together. I think that's fun to watch. Of course, I like to watch other artists as well. I like Sandy Elnock. I don't know if you've ever watched her videos, but she has some great videos. And then there's a lady from the UK. Her name she goes by Crafty Caroline. I really like her things because she does a lot of three-dimensional projects that are pretty interesting. And then there's another lady. I can't think of her name because it's an unusual spelling of it, and I would be doing her a disservice. But this lady, all she does is makes three-dimensional albums, and so she makes just these just gorgeous. There's just so many components to these albums. They'll have things that flip up. They'll have places that pull out. It just has so much detail, and she cuts out all these different designs in there, and it's just amazing the stuff that she comes up with. And I wish that I could do anything like she does. I was inspired by her to do that album for Cora, which I gave her tonight, and she really liked it. And I was inspired by her to do that album. Of course, mine was nothing compared to that lady's. Her stuff is just amazing. I wish there are some things I really do wish I had some kind of talent in, and that's one of them. I'd like to be able to do just she made this thing that goes on your desk that is supposed to be for just for your different desk supplies. And she made this thing that, honestly, this thing must have taken her, I don't know, 200 hours to make. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this thing. It was so, it had so many levels, and it had so many inner workings to it. It was unbelievable. Like I said, I'll put her name down in the notes so you can find her, because she's so interesting to look at her things. And then that May that I did the box from, she makes a lot of interesting things too. Okay, so here's the very last one. I just finished it. All I did was finished with the coloring, and then I just ran the distressing tool over it with some purple that was Memento, and that color was Lulu Lavender. And so I just colored it up with that, and then I rounded the corners on that. And so here are our 6 note cards for my girlfriend. Well, that's a birthday card, but I figure that she'll be able to use all of them at any time. That's a thank you note. And I hope you enjoyed this note card slash card tutorial, and I hope you got some ideas of some quick and easy tips and tricks that you can use. And again, really honestly, look out for that distressing tool. I am not kidding you. This really changed my life when it came to doing any distressing. I struggled with distressing until I bought this tool, and you know how I am about waiting until I find the perfect tool. This is it, and I will do a tutorial on distressing. I have a bunch of tools. I'm sure you know I bought them all, but this is the one that really was easy for me to hold and really worked well, and free. Come on, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Free. I get nothing for that. I just think that if it's free, you should try it. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I really enjoy doing these, and I hope you enjoy watching them as well. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.